All right, awesome. Hi. Hi, group. Hi, Soaring Beyond Definition group. And I have here with me today, I have Megan Adair. In case you don't know Megan already, you definitely should. Uh,
Hi.
Megan, you're in Ohio.
Mhm.
And if you do know her, she has an amazing different businesses going on in Ohio. And she's also the host of our upcoming Awakening class. And we moved the date. So some of you had expressed an interest in the date, and there was a lot of different messages going on. So we changed the date of the class from August to the end of this month to September 30th. And we're going to be in Dublin, Ohio, which is right outside of Columbus. And one of the things we wanted to talk about today was kind of what we were looking at with the energies of this class. We wanted to change the date to accommodate more people, to get more energies involved. But we also got that some people are still wondering what exactly are the benefits of being in the awakening class, of playing with the living and dying body process, which is what you learn in the awakening class. And so there's so many things we could talk about, but I wanted to highlight like three. And we're going to try to keep ourselves to three because we can talk about this a lot. And for us both in the last couple of months, we have been really looking at how we can continue to use this and remember to use this, because for a lot of us in our group, we have so many different tools in our arsenal and we don't always remember to pull it off of the shelf and use it when we need it the most. And so we've been reminding each other, hey, have you run stuff on yourself? You have this tool, you have many tools, and this can be one of them. What's your body asking for? But why would you do that? So how has this been beneficial for you to use, Megan?
Yep. So I definitely see a lot of in-person clients one-on-one for energy work. And whenever I've used this process on them, it can be hard to explain. But you say like, I'm getting, like a yes from your body for this. And afterwards, they just feel really alive and sparkly and re-energized. And so that's been really fun to see. Like, I know it's amazing, even though I can't explain it very well. And one of my favorite things about this is that it kind of destigmatizes, it takes the charge and significance out of the energies of living and dying and life and death, and just that like the ultimatum energy that's kind of around that. And let's also transmute all that down to pure energy.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, just to acknowledge living and life, and what am I living to, what's alive in my life, what's growing, and what's dying in my life. And what if dying isn't a wrongness? What is asking to be let go of and culled and released?
Yeah.
And the power of acknowledging those things and choosing.
Yeah. And in the last couple of months for me, it's been such an invitation for me to really look at how can I really embody this? Your business has the word embodied in it, embodied shaman and embodied all of the things, and really being walking the talk. And so when we want to have exuberant living, like what are we doing? What is the actions that we're taking that allow us to have that? So really for me, I've been having to have very different conversations with myself and my body. And anytime I'm running this body process of the living and dying body process on myself or on others, it invites me to have more of me, for me to be clear on what makes me happy, on what brings me joy, on what I'd like to have as a part of my life, and who I'd like to have as a part of my life, and who I'm like, you know what? Could we not? Could we not do that? I'm not choosing that. And one of the things that has been very clear is a lot of different things with how I do business is shifting as well. So you can use this and run this on your home, on your business, and how you communicate with all of these different areas of your life, and how clearly that communication can show up starts to shift for the greater. And I really, really love that, because there's been so many things, especially with my family, that have really been very challenging in the last couple of months. And this allows me to be really grateful for them, and also to create a different relationship with them that works more in a gentler, softer way. I've been really asking for a lot more gentleness and softness the last couple of months. And so I'm super grateful that I have that clarity with that, because if we're not communicating clearly with ourselves and our bodies, all this stuff that starts pulling at us and banging up against our bodies and our mindsets are so much harder to like discriminate and decipher and figure out what to do with.
Yeah. It's like it's like a magical ease button. Like in my experience, the living and dying body process moves energies that I don't know that anything else moves. It's a different sort of creature. Yeah, it's a different sort of creature, and it's pretty amazing.
And what I love about that is that like all the people in our group are also very different creatures. Like, and
Yeah.
it's this invitation for me to really look at, am I willing to be different? Am I willing to be different with living, or am I going to keep living the way other people are living? And a lot of people around me right now are super, super stressed and they're feeling a lot of guilt. There's a lot of grief. And I'm on my own grief journey. I'm still grieving a lot of people too. And so I don't want to have my own journey and then add on everyone else's stuff on top of it. So one of the things I really love is that it improves my mood. Again, when I remember to use it, and even me who brought this to people, like I'm still like, oh yeah, it's here. It's asking to be used. Am I willing to choose it and use it? And more times than not, it's like almost every single day in a little way, I'm running something on myself. And this is one of the ones that I get to run when it's a yes for my body. I'm like, let's do it. To shift the things that are making things really heavy and clunky and not the sparkly that I'd like to be, because I want more sparkle, Megan. Oh, can I have more sparkle, please?
Yeah, you are one big sparkle, actually.
When I'm really being me, but there's been so many times where I'm dealing with my ailing father, or I'm dealing with, you know, the stresses of all the bureaucracy in the schools that I work with other colleagues and teachers. And it's valid that they're experiencing that they're worried and that they're stressed, but I don't want to take it on.
Yeah.
And anywhere that I am taking it on, I want it to go and flow out as quickly as possible, but also as gently as possible. And so this is what this allows me to do. And I'm so, so grateful for it.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
I would like for more people who would like a greater connection with themselves and their bodies, who would like to have a happier existence. It's not that you're always going to be like all the time, but through all the things that we're dealing with, and we both have been dealing with a lot.
A lot.
It helps chip away at some of the blocks and the clunky clunk, so that we're like, we can see ourselves better. And I like seeing me, because sometimes I will totally judge myself and be like, am I even supposed to be here? Am I doing enough? Am I creating and like doing my life purpose the way I'm supposed to be doing it? Like what the F? Because I know there's some kids that listen in our group too, so I'm not going to swear. But speaking of kids, the other thing I love is there's oftentimes kids in our classes, and this is a really great tool that families can share, that they can exchange with each other. You know, my mom, my fiance, my brother, they all are exchanging energies. My sister, when my grandmother was alive, we would exchange energies. She took the class. She got to take the class before she passed, and it helped sustain her and give her a greater sense of ease with all the things that were going on with her body. And so I would love for more families as well, given that it's one of my personal missions to empower more families, to have this tool in their repertoire to create more ease with anything that's going on in the families, because families are so complex. Like, what would that be like?
Yeah. How much ease could that put into all the different family systems?
Was that affected your family? Like, is this something that has been helpful for you and your hubby?
Yeah, I mean, this tends to get me out of a funk and a rut and like a weird space faster than anything I found actually. So like, yes, because it gets me back to me, because there's like there's a lot of sludge out there in the world. There's a lot of sludge that sometimes I'm playing host to without realizing it. And also like Siris, I have an ailing father who just entered hospice last week, and it's a big fat week. Like, it's just been nonstop and unexpected, and like, okay, this roller coaster is moving faster than I thought it was. And like, and I'm on it, like me and Steven, my husband, are on the roller coaster and moving through it. And it just makes everything easier.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad to hear that. We have a comment in our chat here. It's like from Ryan Marie. I definitely feel grateful to be here, as this is exactly what I have been experiencing, trying to stay in my own bliss bubble of awareness around so many individuals going through the thick of it. Yes, thank you so much for that. And we're sending you all these energies of the living and dying body process to you. So if you're willing, if you go ahead and lower your barriers and walls and see how you can soften and receive some of this, I wonder what that would create for you. And if you're interested in a session, either of us and a bunch of ambassadors around the world are here for you, ready to contribute to you if you'd like. You had something else for Ryan?
No, the whole meeting was muted for me, like right after you said her name until just now.
Oh.
So I was like, is that for everybody? I don't know. Because I
Yeah,
also
let us
touched my
know.
screen. Oh, sorry. I just missed a call. So that's probably what it was.
Okay, got it.
Probably
So, okay, good. And let us know if you can hear us. But thank you, Ryan, for that. And I don't think we're the only ones. There's so many people that are in the thick of it. So if you or anyone that you know would like to join us in the Ohio class or in the Chicago class, it's in November, let us know. The Ohio class is in person only. We want to touch on the bodies. We want to give you the hugs and squeezes, all of the loving. And then the Chicago class, we both have the in-person and we have live streaming to anywhere around the world. So that all of that information, we're going to pop the link in here. All of that is at the empoweringlightlanguage.com/living and dying, or you could message us directly with any questions as well. But one of the things that is really going to be key is asking your body, like, what's the thing that option-wise is going to light you up? And if you're not quite sure about that yes and no that Megan mentioned of how to get that information, then I think the first step would be to receive a session. I think that would be really good, because after that, you will be even clear on what your yes and no is and how to have that more often. And you get 4 sessions into the class because you're giving and receiving twice. And when you're giving, you're receiving a session. So it's going to be a lot in a class. And yet, because this is so gentle and so nurturing, there's not this upheaval. Like, it feels like a spa day. It feels like you're in this beautiful cocoon. And I love how Ryan Marie put it, the bubble, a bliss bubble of awareness. Like, I love more bliss bubbles of awareness, please.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's really refreshing too. Really refreshing.
So that is all we're going to take of your time today, y'all. If you have any questions, let us know. Thank you so much, Megan, for being here and for hosting this class, for asking for this class, and for picking a beautiful, nurturing space too. Like, I love the space that we're going to be playing in. It's super lovely. And I can't wait to see you and anyone else that wants to join us in the class at the end of this month.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Bye, everyone.